a giant rock rising out of the Mediterranean. Benidorm-style skyscrapers without the party crowds. Beautiful white sandy beaches. Flamingos living nearby. And Spanish traditions that still feel alive. And the amazing parties? This is all just one town.
Welcome to Calpe, one of Costa Blanca's most picturesque towns. Today is a cloudy day, which makes it a perfect day to hike up one of Spain's most iconic natural landmarks, Peñon de Ifach. My first impression of Calpe, it is a beautiful little town. It's on a strip that makes me feel like it's like one of those places far away like Cancun. And in the middle you have high-rise buildings, but they're not old-style building. This is one thing that shocked me about Calpe, is that it feels new, polished, modern, and around it, the nature surrounding it, it is one of the most beautiful natural landscape around me. There are hills all around, and it actually is kind of W-shaped because there's one strip over there and the other strip is going on that side.
In 1987, this area became a protected nature reserve, and more than 300 different species of plants have been recorded here, including rare Mediterranean plants growing directly from the cliffs. The rock sits around 332 meters high above sea level, making it one of the highest rock formations in the Mediterranean coast. And just to give you a comparison, London's Shard, the tallest building in the UK, is approximately 310 meters, so this sits slightly higher.
Every corner, every turn brings a new view, and there are several viewing points along the route. This area is also a home to large seagull population, and in fact this was a medieval settlement because around 13th century, after the Reconquista, many people settled down here, and you can see the remains of the settlements just around the corner. And the name Ifach is believed to have Phoenician origin. That shows you how back it goes. Even before the Romans, even before the Moors, and it is believed that the meaning of Ifach is North Rock.
We were not prepared for this, but in order to go up there to the nature reserve, you need to book in advance because there is a limit of 300 people to come in. And we checked if it was availability for today, and it's not, and it's fully booked until next week. And the gentleman there at the gate told us that throughout the year it's very busy. It's not just because we are in May, it's not just because it's high season, it's like this throughout the year. So if you're planning to come here and hike up to the top, be prepared and book in advance. However, if you come here and you haven't booked in advance, do not worry because the views from here are fantastic. The walks around here are fantastic, and you're still gonna admire beautiful views of Calpe.
Now we are at the Paseo Marítimo, which is the Promenade, and we're gonna make our way to the old town, Casco Antigua. After that, we're gonna check out the Salt Lake, and later we check out the east side of the beaches on the other side. They're said to have some beautiful beaches here. The first one is just around the corner, so let's go there. Loving the beach here. It's like curve here, like little cove, and they've got some rocks there. That's a pure sandy beach on that side. So that's the first beach. Nature-wise, it's very beautiful, reminding me of a little bit of the beaches in Cadiz, especially around Caños de Meca, which actually is one of our top favorite beaches in Spain.
One thing that really surprises me of this promenade is that there are not many bars and restaurants here. And Benidorm is just over there, and that is the party capital of Spain. Seeing that we are so close, I was expecting a few more bars, a few more restaurants, but probably that is perfect because when you come here and you want to stay in one of these apartments, the last thing you want to do is hear a lot of music in the promenade that's going to keep you up all night. So here, it seems to be a more relaxed environment. Another thing that catches my eye here from the promenade is like, this is like a cove. The whole town of Calpe is like a cove. So you are protected from that side, and you're protected also from that side over there. And We actually went there the other day when we visited Altea, and we went up to the top. It's a beautiful mirador there. It's also hiking trails for you to explore nature and my beautiful views.
You don't see the typical sandy beaches yet because this part is quite rocky. Over that side where the old town is, you have sandy beach, and on the other side as well, Playa de la Fossa, which is one of the most popular beaches here. Even this side, look in here, it has little coves, sandy coves. It is absolutely gorgeous walkway going up there, and I can see a watchtower there as well. This scene is beautiful with the background of the hills, the buildings, the whole area is mesmerizing. Okay, now we're seeing a lot more restaurants and bars. We're getting closer to the old town center where majority of the population lives. And that's probably why we have more vibe, more town, more people here. Also, the beach here is absolutely beautiful. On that side, it was rocky. It was very coves, but not very sandy. But here you have beautiful beaches.
The beach from here looks amazing, and I know I'm gonna like it because starting with the sand, this is what I call a proper beach sand. Look at it. It's very fine. Reminds me like the beaches in Cadiz as well. Today, however, is not making it any justice because it's a bit cloudy, but in a sunny day, I can imagine the sun reflecting here in the sun and illuminating the entire area. So in terms of the sun quality, I give it a 10 out of 10. You don't see any rubbish, you don't see any rocks that are really hate, any pebbles. It's pure sand, a proper beach in my opinion. In terms of amenities, they are not chiringuitos, so I'm now starting to think that the chiringuito theme doesn't go here in Costa Blanca. I might be wrong, but this is the third day now. This is the third beach we visited, and we haven't seen the typical wooden chiringuito sitting in the sun on the beach. If you want to have a drink or if you want to eat something, you will have to head to one of the many restaurants they offer here in the Promenade. But you will have to leave the beach. It's not far away. It's only an extra minute or two, and then you can head back to the beach. In terms of the water, I think I made myself very clear. I love the color of the water, very turquoise. And earlier on, I was mentioning that this feels like a cove. So it is protecting on either side, from here and from there. So I'm expecting that it's not gonna be very wavy in here. But today it's slightly windy, and that's why you see a few waves, but nothing to be too concerned about. From here, the water looks very clean, very transparent, very beautiful. In terms of the views, and I think this is a selling point about this beach, because on that side you have the rock, very beautiful. It's something you don't really see everywhere when you go to a beach here in Spain. And on that side you have another hill, another mountain, which gives you a bit of a Italy vibe. It feels that we are in Italy. It's extremely beautiful. The only downside is the flats. But this is an urban beach. This is not a remote beach that Aslam and I like to go to in the middle of nowhere. Another thing that I'm really liking is that it's not really a party beach. There's no music. Even though there are a few restaurants over there, a few bars, you don't really hear loud music because Benidorm is just down there, half an hour. So if you really want the party beach, you can just drive over there. Okay, now we are seeing a different picture. On that side of the town, it was a bit quieter, it was more residential. But now here, now it's a bit more commercial. You see a few more bars, a few more restaurants. And I must say, the bars and restaurants, they look very, very nice. Look at this one. Over there, we just saw a very nice place that they play some music, not very loud, but very chill area for you to see the Mediterranean Sea in front of you whilst you're having a drink with your friends and family. It's very good.
Okay, this looks different. I mean, we love the rock, everything about the rock, the views, the nature, it was fantastic. But as soon as we came down and started walking on the promenade, the coves were beautiful, but the area lacked its soul. I know quite a few people might disagree with me and we might have come on the wrong day, but this area already, even on a day like this, is looking very promising. This is the old town center, and like any Spanish town center, it's filled with plazas, beautiful little streets, and I'm quite willing to explore right now. Okay, I've spotted an estate agent, and like we always do, check the prices of the area. A villa, modern semi-detached villa, 699,000, 3-bedroom. I won't say it's expensive because these kind of villas in Estepona would be over €1 million, but it's not as cheap either as you would find prices in Alicante. 450,000, 320,000, 460,000 for a 3-bedroom. It is in the hills, but I think these villas are really great value for money. So overall, generally speaking, of course, Calpe is mostly beach frontline, so that's why properties are going to be expensive. Comparing to Costa del Sol, it's still decently priced, but comparing to local area generally around Alicante, Benidorm area, this is pricier, and you can see why.
We seem to be in the high street, and there are lots of shops, lots of restaurants, supermarkets, shopping centers. So for such a small area, there's so much life going on around here, and I'm really loving it. I see more locals here. This area feels more lived in, and I see also very different nationalities here as well. So everybody comes together in this area, and it brings it back to life.
If you're coming to Calpe and you have access to car, you can come to either Valencia airport or also Alicante airport. Alicante is a closer airport, and you can get to Calpe in just under an hour. From Valencia is an hour and a half drive, depending on the traffic. There are no train connections to Calpe, so if you want to take a train, you can take the tram from Alicante airport to Benidorm and then change to buses, but this is going to take a long time. You are actually better off taking the Alsa bus directly from the airport to Calpe, which takes just under an hour. The town center is very walkable. You don't really need a car here. There are local buses if you need them, but my advice would be to hire a car and explore the beautiful surroundings. We were in Altea the other day. It was stunning. Alicante with its beaches and the architecture in the city center, absolutely amazing. Benidorm has got a charm as well. It's a different kind of charm, but there is something there. And also the other side of the coast towards Dania is absolutely beautiful as well.
We have now reached the town center, and straight away it has that Spanish charm, that Spanish vibe as well. That lots of terraces, people eating outdoors. But look at that. That is the Instagram picture you need to take if you visit the town center of Calpe. But not just the flags, not just the steps, look at the houses either side. It's beautiful. And of course, in a very typical Spanish fashion, lots of steps, lots of hills. And I actually saw an Instagram reel this morning that if you come to Spain, you need to be prepared to do at least minimum 10,000 steps a day. I'm loving it because over that side, it was very modern, high tall buildings. And over here is the typical traditional Spanish. Look at the houses over here with the little balconies, the flower pots, the Spanish flag. So this can be more Spanish. It's beautiful. And I know we've mentioned this a lot, that a Spanish lifestyle revolves about being outdoors. But of course, it's going to invite you to be outdoors because A, the weather, B, the lovely architecture, C, the lovely sightseeing, beaches, restaurants, bars. But also, it's very good because it's very clean. And Aslan mentioned to me when he moved to Spain with me, and he saw that every morning they came to wash the streets with water. For me, that's normal, but for him, he was quite shocked. And that's why one of the things he told me, and many of our friends told me, that how clean the streets are. And that invites you to be outdoors when you see everything around you beautiful and clean. Okay, yeah, now, oh, look at that. Wow, you see every little corner here now is very Instagrammable. You have to take a picture. Look at this, over there was the Spanish flags. Now here, you go down and they have this netted area to protect you from the heat of the sun. Beautiful, I love how, again, well maintained it is, how nicely decorated it is, and the detail. And these are hand knitted as well. And the neighbors, they actually do it, the neighbors, they put it together. It's beautiful. Wow. And it obviously represents, because like many coastal towns in Spain, this was a fishing village. And it's just to remind you of the roots of this village, of the roots of this town. Wow, it's beautiful. Very different to what we saw over there, very different. I actually prefer this because this has more character, this has more charm.
Oh, that's prettier. Yeah, oh, there's a mural on that side as well. The whole town keeps revealing itself. I didn't know there was so much in there. I thought it would be just a couple of streets which are painted, but every corner, like this one, has something going on. Oh, let's check this out actually. Look at that, on that wall. They have decorated in a fishing net, Cofradía de Pescadores, Fishing Association, 100 years of that. And they have represented with starfish, jellyfish, octopus, so many beautiful things hand knitted and put it on the wall just in the town center like that. No one's going to steal it. It's very safe, it's very secure. One arch leads to the other arch into the castle. Such a lovely view. Beautiful. Another beautiful square, but I'm tempted by the castle, so let's go in. Oh, there's a whole village in the castle with restaurants, so come on the top, have a meal here. Another arty piece, so it's a very arty village as well. Beautiful. With cobblestones everywhere, it's so beautiful, so pretty. Yeah, this is this type of Calpe, I'm loving it. I think this is a church. Yeah, Iglesia Virgen de las Nieves. And the route continues on that side, so let's just follow that. Oh, beautiful, more murals. Stunning. Wow, such beautifully decorated. I love the fishing net and the shells hanging and the colors popping out. It's so beautiful. That street has little lights hanging around. I believe at night this is all gonna come up very bright and beautiful. And then a beautiful mural of a couple, elderly couple, sitting by the flowers. Thought-provoking. Look at this street, so beautiful with colors and al fresco dining in the middle and the lights hanging once again. The whole town is very funky, very arty and very Spanish, and I'm loving this. It is gorgeous and I'm pleasantly surprised.
I can't believe we are in the same town we started this morning. This morning over there, in my opinion, was a bit soulless, as I mentioned before, I know that, but I just want to insist on how different this is, how much character this has, how much different it is. Now this town has gone up to the top again because there's so much character in it.
As we know that there are lots of festivals celebrated in Spain, there's something going on all the time. And especially in communities like this one, tightly knit communities, the festival actually mean a lot different. They mean more deeper. And here they do celebrate lots of festivals as well, but one of the more important ones that is very unique to this area, during the month of October, they recreate the scene of the battle when Moors landed on the coast of this area, and they dress up like Moors and Christians. They then have a massive battle, well, acting like a battle, and there's a gunpowder involved. It's very loud, very dramatic. Might not be historically correct, but they do celebrate coming together. And it's not like Moors against Christians, it's everybody coming together, remembering that historical moment. And that is the scene you can see here. This town looks very new, very modern, but its history goes back centuries, even thousands of years ago. Even before the Romans, this area was used by the local Iberians, and then the Romans came. This area, the ruins you see around me, they are from the Roman time. They are called Baños de Reina, meaning Queen's Baths, but it has nothing to do with the Queen. It was actually a very wealthy Roman person's house. Romans loved this area because it provided the protection because of the Peñon, and also it has abundance of fishing. Then the Moors came, who ruled this area for centuries, and after the Reconquista, around 1637, the town was attacked by pirates over and over again. In fact, they became so intense that the whole town was abandoned.
That's why they built these watchtowers and the protecting walls to protect the town. But eventually they had to abandon it because, as Aslan said, they became so severe they couldn't defend the town any longer. With so much history, you would think that this town has had visitors over the years, but tourism only exploded here in the second half of the 20th century with these high-rise buildings. Now that this area is becoming more and more popular, bringing life back to this beautiful town.
This is the strange thing about Calpe. Right in the middle of the mountains, the high-rise buildings, the cranes, there's a beautiful salt lake which is filled with flamingos, cranes, and different migratory birds that come here every year. And in fact, flamingos are found here throughout the year. So beautiful. It's a very shallow lake. That's because this area was used for salt mining, because back in the day, salt was one of the most valuable commodities, and this area was very useful for that. And now today, nature has returned to its original form and filled this area and filled it with beautiful nature. We love birds, and looking at these beautiful flamingos and different species is absolutely mesmerizing. This little one over there, look at that. That's the beauty of this place. 2 minutes walk over there, you have a promenade with high-rise building, music, and all modern life. 15 minutes walks will take you to the typical Spanish town center with beautiful decorated walls. And now you're in the middle of nature, looking around. You cannot believe this place exists here.
The population of Calpe back in the 90s was approximately 10,000 residents. Since then, the population has grown to around 30,000. It's almost tripled in that short period of time. But that's why you see lots of flats, high-rises coming up, because the population is expecting to grow at the same rate over the coming years. Out of that population, 53% is foreign national, making Calpe one of the most international areas in all Spain. We've come to the east side of Calpe, meaning on the other side of the rock. And at a first glance, it might look very similar, but the beach is a lot longer, and also the beach goes right to the bottom of the rock. So coming to the beach here, you have the rock standing just there. So in my opinion, it's a lot more beautiful. Also, the water here looks a bit more shallow, and the color is a lot clearer as well. Here you will see the coastline of Costa Blanca continuing. But in terms of the buildings, architecture, chiringuitos, bars, restaurants, it's very, very similar. Although it feels a bit quieter because it's not directly connected to the town center as the west side was. However, it's equally beautiful, very relaxing. It's a lovely beach, quite big beach and quite wide as well. So if you visit the west side or you visit the east side, you'll have an equally great time.
Calpe wowed us with its views from the rock. It did lack character, in our opinion, on the new side, but our faith was restored on the old town, which was very boutique, very beautiful. But the main highlight has to be the beaches. They are absolutely stunning with this golden sand, crystal clear waters, and the views of the rock around. We loved it. Stay tuned, because next week we are coming to you from the party capital of Costa Blanca. Like it, hate it, it's Benidorm. Hasta luego!